Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. We are out here in nature, baby. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana. Someone wrote in asking how to stop overthinking obsessively. Is that you out there? Do you have thought after thought after thought after thought? Oh my goodness gracious. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? As you can see, we got the beautiful wind swaying everywhere. This is fantastic. This is what we love. Now, I'm going to share with you what's helped me along my journey to stop obsessively overthinking. And there are about 12 very common habits chronic overthinkers have that they have to really take a look at. Okay, what is the first habit? Even I had. Don't wait for everything to get right before you get right. Get right, and then everything will get right. Slow motion this side. Now this applied to my early journey because I was always overthinking. Like, I hope everything gets right, but I'm not right within myself. When you start to go within yourself, work on yourself, find more harmony within yourself, then everything outside of you falls into perfect place. Most of us, we overthink because we're trying to make everything perfect when we're really not perfect ourselves first. We're not in harmony ourselves first. We're out of shape, out of balance. So get right, and then everything will get right. You can't change things by just thinking about them. You got to start moving your butt, baby. Move it, shake it, dance it, all around the dance floor. Don't make me start being a DJ for you guys. What's the second habit you have to really take a look at to stop your obsessive overthinking? You have a habit, and this was me, to living in the past. Now, we often think the past was more glorious. The past was better. We get nostalgia. Back in the good old days. Then when we actually go back, nothing was actually happening. Okay? It was terrible. But it's just flashbacks are like, oh my gosh, it was so good. Why do we keep thinking about the past? A lot of it comes from guilt. You're ashamed of whatever took place a year ago. You can't get over it, and that's fine. But what helped me was to realize this, that you have to accept whatever happened, and then you have to realize where you were at that period of time. So if you made a really big mistake, accept it and then allow it to say, okay, I'm a totally different person right now. Okay, and that really helped me to stop obsessively overthinking. Now, the third habit, 7-day vegan challenge, blowing up everywhere right now. There are gulpers and there are chewers. To stop overthinking, what helped me was to stop gulping down food. In fact, most of us, we don't even look at our food when we're eating it. We're watching Infinite Water. Whoa, you're watching Infinite Waters. And you're just gulping down your food, right? So I had to learn how to become accustomed to the truth, what I call mindful eating. And it's really about chewing every single bit of kale in your mouth, every single bit of pineapple in your mouth, every single bit of mango until you completely turn it into liquid. Okay? Most of us, we don't become accustomed to the truth. How do we do that? Okay, there's a great Zen story. A disciple asked his master, have you ever tried to become accustomed to the truth? Then the master laughed and said, yes. When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm thirsty, I drink. Then the disciple laughed even harder and said, "Oh, that's what everyone does." Then he said, "No, because when you eat, you are thinking of various other things, therefore allowing yourself to become disturbed." Slow motion this side. Eat slow, baby. Okay, what's the fourth habit you have to really take a look at if you have a massive problem with overthinking? You have a habit of wanting to live in the future already. Like, you have become so impatient that you have created so much anxiety within yourself, and you are overthinking because you're dreaming up a future which hasn't even happened yet. And certain times that's good, but most times it's actually a disrespect to our present situation. So what's actually helped me is to realize that the future is nothing more than a continuation of the present. I have to start occupying the present moment. Okay, and that's really helped me to stop obsessively overthinking. And it goes into the fifth habit. If you are an overthinker, you got to take a look at being absent all the time. Okay, the friends talk to you and you're like, huh? What did you just say? Okay, because you're so caught up in the mind. You're what I call living upstairs 80% of the day. And what actually helped me come downstairs to stop obsessively overthinking was to occupy the present, to be more present. And you ask, okay, what's the best way to do that? You see, we have a problem with attention. Most people's attention spans are between 6 to 10 seconds per minute. Then we lose focus. Okay, so I realized that we have such a short attention span because we have thoughts we're ruminating 24/7, because once again, we're trying so desperately hard to get everything right in our mind. And then there's reality. Even if you get it right in your mind, it doesn't mean it's going to be right out there. You have to start moving into what I call radical action. And that can only happen when you start absorbing yourself into the present moment 100%. Now, I do this in a very simple way. I'm just breathing deep from the base of my spine. Okay? If you slow down everything you're doing, you're going to find you're going to be overthinking. No, you're not. You're going to be thinking actually a lot less. Because when you slow down, you start to tap into your senses. What am I listening to? Okay, right now, hearing the beautiful leaves swaying around, beautiful air, beautiful chi. Okay, what am I looking at? Straight into a camera, feels good. Okay, now I'm becoming more present. I'm becoming attentive. In essence, I am becoming more aware of the details of my life. That's how to stop obsessively overthinking. And another habit, number 6, that a lot of overthinkers have, even me along my early journey, was, are you overanalyzing everything? Analysis is paralysis. And this is what I learned, that if ever I'm judging you, please wave a red flag like that and say, Ralph, stop doing it, okay? Because I'm analyzing you right now. I want to know what you had for breakfast, what you're wearing, what are you thinking, okay? Analysis is paralysis. And we overanalyze, okay? Whoa! We overanalyze because, once again, so many of us, we are still unhappy with either how we look, how things are, but it goes into not moving, okay? It's an excuse. We are justifying where we find ourselves. So the solution I found is that you've got to start moving. Even physical exercise will help you to stop overthinking. The body is our subconscious mind. So the more you move your body, the more you, in essence, start to reprogram your subconscious mind, you stop overthinking so much. You are overthinking because you've stopped working out. You've stopped going for that morning walk, that daytime walk, that going to the gym, going swimming like you used to. Okay? And what's really helped me is to say, okay, I've got to start moving again. I've got to start taking physical exercise up again, and then you feel great. Number 7 is control. We have a control complex. If you are a chronic overthinker, you have a control complex. I had it along my early journey. And this control was to try and control things by thinking about them, try and manipulate situations in my head by thinking about them. But we even control situations through the language we use. We say, I used to be amazing. Or, I will. The 2 most powerful words you can say is I am, right now. I am, how are you feeling right now? Tap into that, and that helps you to stop overthinking. Control is a big problem in so many of our lives. We control how people perceive us by trying to fit into their standards. We think we can control the weather, okay, till we land in a snowstorm, right? We don't control anything externally. All we do control is our internal condition, and that's really helped me to stop obsessively overthinking. Okay, let go of control. It's an illusion. What is the 8th habit you really want to take a look at? This need for approval. Okay, it's healthy to want to get approved by your peers, but that's why so many of us get caught up into this vicious cycle of overthinking. Do I look good enough? Am I wearing the right clothes? Do I have the latest phone? Am I as funny as that person over there? No one's laughing at you. You're not. Don't worry about it. Actually, you are pretty funny. Okay. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I think. The only thing that matters is how you perceive yourself. And that's really what helped me to stop overthinking. The secret to stop overthinking is to let go of who you think you are. Slow motion this side. I would even go so far to say that the secret to stop overthinking is to stop judging yourself 100%, to lose yourself and come to your senses, like the great psychologist Fritz Perls said. Okay. What's number 9? We have become addicted to certain chemicals within our body. The chemicals and hormones, we're talking about cortisol, stress hormones. We actually become addicted to producing these chemicals and hormones in our body which don't serve us. So overthinking is now an addictive habit we have become accustomed to. So what helped me was to say, okay, I've got to stop being always plugged into a fearful mindset. Stop always focusing on fearful news and things which make me very afraid of life and living, okay? I got to start getting back into actually enjoying my life. And that means bringing more joy into my life, realizing I create happiness also by surrounding myself with the right energy. And that all helped me to stop obsessively overthinking, right? It helped me to stop being a compulsive overthinker. What is number 10? A lot of us, we let our ego rule us. That is why you have overthinking as your number 1 problem. The ego is always worried. It is always overthinking because the ego always has the desire to control everything. And what actually freed me from overthinking into just normal thinking, right, was to silence the ego. The ego is necessary. The ego is beautiful. But if you are always caught up in letting your ego boss you around, you're always going to be overthinking. Am I earning enough money? The ego was created for your survival. But in this day and time, we don't need to survive. We have everything we need. So you have to put the ego in its place. That's really what helped me to stop overthinking. So if you are letting your ego always rule you, that's a habit you gotta check to say, take a back seat. Okay, put the heart first, the ego behind it. What's number 11? Okay, the 11th habit you've really got to look at is this. Many people are overthinking because they have the worst case scenario syndrome. Paranoia? Yes. Okay? You are drawing up the worst case scenarios possible. It's going to go terrible. You spend all your energy focusing on what will go wrong instead of seeing what could potentially go right. Slow motion this side. So I adopted pronoia, which is where I always feel the whole entire universe is conspiring to help me wake up with a bunch of grapes in my mouth. You got to trust life. That's how to stop overthinking. Okay? And let's talk about number 12. Can you see nature? It's just so in the flow. That's how to stop overthinking. Be like a leaf. It's to realize this. Think wisely. That's what's helped me along my journey. It might work for you. Think wisely. Out of the 60,000 thoughts you are thinking every single day, you got to ask yourself, how many of those thoughts are in my greatest interest in helping me become my greatest version? Most people don't think thoughts that help them. They think thoughts that keep them in an arrested state of development. So I started to realize, okay, if thoughts are creating my reality, I've not only got to think more wisely, I've got to act more wisely, I've got to feel wiser in how I act and not just feel that my thoughts are going to be enough, okay, to change a situation. Thinking wisely is about letting go of guilt. It's about letting go of circumstances. It's about not feeling like you are to blame for whatever took place. Thinking wisely is having thoughts which are energy generating instead of energy depleting. Thoughts are consciousness. Thoughts are awareness. Thoughts are made out of the quantum stuff this whole entire universe is filled of. So when you realize you are creating your reality with your thoughts, you think wiser, more wisely, and then you stop overthinking. And the thinking that you do is always in your best interest. And then you trust yourself. Woo! Breathe in that good ass prana and then say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? And there you have it. Have a beautiful day. We're just out here having fun. Infinite diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy.